after that, he saw the experiment in front of him. Now, the distance between New Jersey and Scotland is more than 5,300 kilometers, and the experiment has cost him 2 months of his time and more than $10,000. And that's only for one experiment. Now, he came up with the idea then, saying, wouldn't it be a great idea if I were to sit in my lab, don't have to travel, I don't have to waste a lot of money, I just sit in my lab. This other scientist who produced the study will film it, and I will watch it through a visual format, and hence JOVE has born. Now, JOVE stands for the Journal of Visualized Experiment. And this is a lot. This problem has a lot of research when it comes to the scientific community. Now, for example, majority of you are familiar with the Nature journal. There is a study in the Nature journal. It says that only 10 to 40% of the published science article are reproducible, meaning if science A have found a result, it's very difficult for science B to find the same results. And the survey, or the way that Nature has obtained this result, was by surveying more than 1,500 researchers. And around 90% of these have admitted there is a crisis when it comes to reducibility. And the reason why there is obstacle with reducibility, we all know. Now, all of you as educators, you applied for job, and while you're applying for job, your CV must have a good number of publication. So there is a pressure on you to publish all the time. And we also know majority of those published articles are not shared between science community. So for example, if someone produces something, they will sit somewhere. If another person would like to view it, they have to pay a subscription or they have to buy the article, and they might not even want to that article. And the most important of which is unclear written protocol, which is the thing that I would like to focus on. Now, we know when you are writing a study, or when you are, for example, producing a study, you are restricted with word numbers, and your method or your methodology must be between 500 to 800 words. Now, if you had carried a very long experiment and you have used variety of reagent or variety of equipment, and you have waited several days to concise these all steps in 500 words is very difficult. And I'm going to give you an example. I would like you to have 30 seconds to think about the written article now on your left-hand side. I'm going to read it for you, and think about what kind of experiment is this. Now, the written article says, position the metaphases spindle at 3 o'clock and hold it with the holding pipette. Apply bisonobulsis and penetrate the zona bullicida. Touch the metaphase plate with the inclination pipette, aspirate the spindle, and withdraw the pipette. Now, just take 5 seconds. Think about what area in science this experiment is done. Now, it might take you to read it 3 or 4 times to understand what area of science this experiment in. You might even need to interpret some these terminology and look at your science dictionary or your medical dictionary to find out what kind of experiment is this. However, if you visualize it like this in the right-hand side, you're not going to spend more than 10 seconds to understand this is embryonic procedure. So seeing an experiment works to every single one, whether you are a distinguished professor, whether you are an undergraduate student. So what is JOVE? Now, as I mentioned, the origin of JOVE is producing a scientific study to increase the reproducibility, increase the level of connection between science community. However, we have grown many branches. So the first part, or the first branch of JOVE, is JOVE Journal, which is a peer-reviewed designed for research and scientists. We have the science education, which have 1,000 video focused on teaching and learning purposes for students. We also have JOVE Core, which this one is more likely to be beneficial for those students who just started their university degree, either in the foundation year or in the first 2 years of their education. And lastly, we have the lab manual, which is introduction video to mostly common lab in science. Now, I'm going to do an introduction and a very quick explanation to each one of these. And then we're going to start with number 1, which is the video journal. Now, the video journal looks like this. We have 13 different collections that rate all the way from chemistry, biology, engineering, medicine, environment, all the way to cancer research. Now, as educator in King Saud University, you have a limited subscription to all these because the library at your university has subscribed to all these articles. So you and your students will have continuous access to it until your subscription runs out. Now, what is the benefit from this then? As you are an educator in the applied science department, these 4 different collections will be very beneficial for you. And whether you are a radiologist, biomedical scientist, etc., you will find a relevant video in the video journals. Now, the video journals is a basic study. So any other article that you see in the world, just the add-on is there. You see the method in a visual format. Within the website, you can find the paper, the author, the DI number, etc., etc. The extra addition only is that you are able to view the protocol in a visual format. So let me take you through some of the JOVE Journal highlights. Every single study there is peer reviewed, meaning that has been verified or has been studied by other scientists in the same field. It includes detailed protocols with a video, with the material list. We have international editorial board. It is indexed in PubMed and Medline and Science Direct. We have over 11,500 video, and also the impact factor is 1.2. Now, you might say, well, that's a very low impact factor. Well, I agree with you, it's very low impact factor, but considering the fact JOVE has just started, this is really good. And shortly, I'm going to show you how citation happened, and you would see journal that with impact factor over 3 have cited journal. Now, as for King Saud University, there has been 6 publications so far with JOVE. And as you can see, sometimes the university is the lead author or is the co-author with different universities. Now, the way this is produced is the scientists will submit their script and it will go through review, it will go through peer review. When it approved, the filming team will come to the lab and they will film the person doing the experiment. I'm going to show you very quickly how that happens and why is it good for you to actually produce a video format. Because first of all, you promote yourself as a scientist. People will know how you look like, what area you specialized in, what university that you work at. I'm going to show you very quickly how that looks like. Now, there is no voice, so I'm going to explain over what's happening. So first of all, the title, the authors, and now the scientists explain themselves and say what they are going to do and why is it so important and how they're going to carry out the experiment. Any co-author or any people who help this scientist also will have the time to actually introduce themselves. So this person also is an associate. He's also from King Saud University, and he explaining also what is his part of this experiment. After that, the voiceover will explain what are the content, what are the procedure, and lastly, you would see someone in a lab actually doing the experiment in front of you. So you wouldn't waste time reading 8,000 words more than 2-3 times just to understand how this experiment is carried out. You will see it in front of you and you will be able to replicate it in your lab or show it to your students. So this is as far as the video lab goes. So how can it help you as a researcher, or how can it help you as a teacher? First of all, it reduces the time that takes to learn a new technique, and you will use fewer material, so you will save a lot of money for your department. Also will increase the reliability and the reproducibility of your research and method. It promotes you as a scientist between the science community. And also it will help you to reserve your core lab facilities. Now we know in each university there's something called core lab facilities where every single scientist or every single teacher need to know how to operate them. So these equipment cost a lot of money, and if you were to train something or someone, you will take a long time to actually enable them to master that technique. So if they watch the video before they come into your lab and they know what button to touch, what button not to touch, what things to do, what things they're not to do, that will help you along the line. Now, here is the detailed protocol. This is how the website is going to look like. I'm going to take you to the website in a minute. I'm going to show you all these things so you would see the protocol written in front of you, what you need to do, and the video is running on your right-hand side, and it shows you how things is carried out. So I mentioned the citation of JOVE. Now, the citation of JOVE has different interpretation. Now, majority of the citation that JOVE has been cited is for methodological reasons. So for example, 72% of the people who cited JOVE, they cited because of the method area. 53% of these appear in the method, and the most important of which is the last statistical number. It says that 38% of the citation are self-citation, and this leaves you with more than 60% of the citation came from other scientists. And if you look at just before the last statistic, it says 65% of these were cited in a journal more than 3 impact factor or more. So if one of you would like to publish via JOVE, this is the process that you need to go through. So for example, first of all, someone needs to submit their paper. It will go through the peer reviewed, then they will contact you. After that, you will have your day of filming scheduled, and the editorial team will come to your lab and they will do the filming. After that, the video will be edited and the voiceover will be given. And lastly, the publishing date is given to you. And as I mentioned at the beginning, it promotes you as a scientist. People will know about you and your work, and they are able to view what you do rather than reading about you in papers. Now, this is bring us to the end, to the first part of JOVE Journal. So we said JOVE has 4 different branches: JOVE Journal, JOVE Science Education, JOVE Core, and JOVE Lab Manual. Now I have explained to you what is JOVE Journal about. Is a peer-reviewed papers, similar to every single produced scientific study. It shows the method section as a video with detailed of material and the things that are carried out. Now I'm going to focus on JOVE Science Education, which is what I mentioned at the beginning of this presentation. As I said, I was a teacher once. I was like you, but I have left teaching because it is incompatible with research. Now you can see 2 pictures on this screen. The picture on your right-hand side is a new scientist, just finished their degree. They're super excited about what they are about to discover and the field that they would like to specialize on. They join the university, they sign contract with the university, and they realized university is very hard work because they need to plan lectures and prepare it. They need to teach those lectures in a seminar and a workshop. They need to involve in curriculum design. They need to respond to students' email and question. There is pressure for research because tomorrow, if they would like to change university or change an profession, they have to explain themselves what they were doing for the last 10 years. They need to keep up with the current literature, and they have to read about a new method and new studies. And also they need to mark exam papers, thesis supervision, sitting in an awarding classification panel. And lastly, every single one of us have their family and personal responsibility to be part of. So how come someone be able to balance all these things at once? And I call it academia crisis, because sometimes people do not understand the pressure teachers under. And this is the reason why I actually left teaching. And I'm here and I'm determined to help you to actually find more time for your family and your personal responsibility using JOVE video. And how can you do that? Now, within the science education volume and collection, we have over 1,000 video that has been professionally produced and has been reviewed by other scientists. You are able to embed those video via LMS, via Blackboard, and there are subtitles, including Arabic subtitles. Now, if you have students who are English language are not proficient enough, or maybe they don't understand the scientific terminology, they are able to put the subtitle on and they will be keeping up with other students. You can use JOVE quiz testing tool, which means that you are able to understand how many of your students are actually understood the topics. What percentage of your students are likely to pass this term? All that will be available to you using JOVE testing tool. Now, within science education collection, we have 8 different collections that range all the way from advanced biology, chemistry, physics, engineering, environmental science, clinical skills, all the way to psychology. Now, for you as an educator from the Applied Science College, advanced biology, basic biology, engineering, and clinical skills will be most relevant to you. And also, nobody can hear me? Hello? I can see some message saying some people are not able to hear me. Okay, sorry. Okay. And probably, if you are unable to hear me, maybe you need to disconnect and connect your microphone again. Sorry, your headphones again.
No, I'm able to hear.
Thank you. And so what I was saying is, within science education collection, the most relevant of which to you will be the advanced and basic biology, engineering, and clinical skills. Now, I'm also pleased to let you know that your university subscribed to those collections, so you would have an unlimited access to them until this subscription runs out. Now, let's just explore what could you have within those science education collections. So this is the basic biology collection. Now we have the general laboratory technique, which every single student who study in science should know about. And I'm going to show you some of the video available. So within the general laboratory technique, students will understand about how to use centrifuge, how to use light microscope, how to use fluorescent microscope, how to make sure they understand how to measure volume and masses, how to able to make solution in lab, how to tackle reagents, etc., etc. Also, we have this collection, which we call it lab safety. And this is very, very important collection, especially for those students who are going to start their lab training, because first of all, they need to keep the lab safe, and also they need to keep themselves safe. So in each collection, we have more than 15 different collections. And as you see in front of you now, it shows you how to deal with electricity, with waste disposal, with chemical disposal, how to kind of handle hot and cold and solution, etc., etc. Now, within the advanced biology, we have the neuroscience, the developmental biology, genetic, immunology, microbiology, and cell biology. And also the engineering, we have the thing that relevant to you is bioengineering and biomedical engineering. And I'm going to show you some collection within the biomedical engineering. So you have the imaging. So those of you who are actually radiologists, you can find CT scans, you can find ultrasound, and you can find X-ray. You also can find some video that actually showing how to analyze a vein or analyze an artery, or how to read ECG, etc., etc. And I'm going to take you to the website shortly, and I'm going to show you all these, so you don't need to worry about this. And lastly, within the clinical skills, you have the physical examination. For those of you who are a radiotherapist or dealing with some people with injuries, or students who are learning how to actually learn about the muscles and bones, and how to ensure that someone's muscles are not dislocated, and how to ensure you can do this, we have different video about it, and you are able to show you students how to use them. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that within those video, students can view or see it in their own language. So they can use the Arabic language, and they are able to see the video in their mother tongue. And after that, they will enable them to understand in their own language what is the video actually talking about. Also, as an educator, you are able to embed those videos into Blackboard. Now, what happens if you embed those videos into Blackboard is that students do not need to remember their email address, their password. They can see those videos anywhere, at their home, out of the country, as long as they have access to your specific page on Blackboard, they still able to see those videos. Also, you can design a topic for them. So for example, if you have a new students and you would like to teach them, let's say, about all the different organelles within the cells, you can design all those videos, and they are able to view all of them at once, and they will come prepared to your lesson next time. So I'm going to show you a very quick video how to embed a video and how it's going to appear into your Blackboard. And after that, I'm going to demonstrate it in front of you, and I'll allow you time to do it. So you go to the video that you would like to play. And every video we have the word called embed, and that will take you to another page, and you will click on something that copy the embedded page. You go to Blackboard, you choose the third option, you will choose build content then item, you give a name to the title of the video, then you click on the 2 arrow that facing down to expand your option, and you click on HTML. Then you paste what you have copied from JOVE website, and you click update, then submit. Now I'm going to demonstrate that one more time, so you don't need to worry about it. I'm just gonna using it to show you that embedding videos onto Blackboard is absolutely feasible. You also have the JOVE test, which I mentioned just earlier ago. Now, video JOVE test will enable you to make sure that you have an understanding of the number of the students who are actually able to understand the topic that you are explaining. Number of the students who are more likely to pass this term. Now, as you can see in a green color here, you can see create a JOVE test. Now, create a JOVE test means create a test specifically to that video that your students has just viewed. Now, this will take you to this page where the field of study and the subject is automatically chosen for you because you have chosen a specific video. So if you can see here, it says shoulder exam 1. So the subject is shoulder exam 1. You need to give a title or test name, and after that it will take you to those questions. Now those questions are already ready. You don't have to write them, you don't have to mark them, and this is what I was talking about, by saving you time to actually do the thing that you enjoy. So if you would like to use those questions, you can click use or don't use by clicking on this green button. Now these the questions are ready. If you would like, however, to add some video, you absolutely can. That's your own right. But every single video have 5 different multiple choice questions that already ready for you to send it to your students. And after that, in order for you students to answer those questions, after when you've viewed those questions and you are happy with them, you are going to copy the list of email that your students or that particular class has in this box. Now, obviously you have the list of specific class somewhere in your disposal. So you just make paste all, then copy it here, and then you can write a personalized message to that specific class, saying, for example, make sure that you'll watch the video before you answer the question. And you also can set a deadline to which date you would like those questions to be completed. Once you have clicked on send, you students will receive an automatic message saying, Professor such and such or teacher such and such would like you to answer those questions by this deadline. So they will get a notification. After they finish or after they complete the test, you will also receive a notification saying your students has completed the test, or maybe after the deadline has passed. So for example, if you set the deadline for 1 week and that 1 week has finished, you will receive the result straight away, even if not all the students have answered the question. Now, this is what you are going to see. You are going to see the name of your students or their email. You are going to see how many questions they were able to answer correctly, what percentage they have scored, the time they have taken the test, and also an overview of the question that majority of the students were able to answer correctly and majority of the students were not able to answer correctly. So if one question appeared to be so difficult to majority of your students, probably we need to go through that with them sometimes later. And if there is a question where they be able to answer it correctly, that means they have understood that particular area very perfectly. Now, I was talking to you about how science education can help you, how is it helpful, blah, 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 but I have not given you any kind of empirical data. I haven't given you any numbers, and here's your chance to actually scrutinize data and scrutinize my claim and ensure that what I'm saying is 100% correct. Now, this is an independent study that has published by the Journal of Chemical Education. You can view it online by yourself. It has investigated the effectiveness of JOVE science education, and they have a quite large samples. I'm going to read the abstract very quickly for you, and I'm going to take you through the result. And after that, we're going to do some practice. Now, the overall study says that students' learning was assessed through analysis of pre and post video conceptual quizzes. And value survey was also conducted to gather students' feedback about the video. Our investigation shows that using these video in these courses significantly improve students' learning and reinforce conceptual understanding for important fundamental questions. And these results held even for those students who did not feel positively about the video. Now, the study has been carried by 2 different universities, so they have collaborated in producing those results. The first university is DeSalle University in Pennsylvania and Carson University in South Colorado. Now, look at the sample size of the first university. You have 94 students in the molecular biology department, and in the second university, you have 252 students from the biology department. So adding these 2 numbers together, you have approximately 350 students, which is a good sample size. We also have the test group, which is the group that watched the video, and the control group, which is the group that just have read a handout or have read a text without watching the video. And here are the result. Now, the one here on the left-hand side is just the students' feedback. So how students felt, which is not that important, but the most important of which is the one on the right-hand side, which is the assessment result. How students do in their exams. Now, it says that students scored 100% higher on the pre-lab test when compared to the control group. So when they have actually watched the video, before they do the test, 100% of those who watched the video scored higher than those who actually only read an article. And after they have done the lab, 76% of the students still scored higher. Now, the feedback of the students is also good. It says, and 89% of the students felt more confident, 92 understood the lab better, and 96 found JOVE useful in explaining those core concepts. Now, I'm going to very quickly run, so this is bring us end to the science education. Very quickly, I'm going to run through JOVE Core, And after that, I'm going to show you how to actually do the embedding process and how to do the testing process. And hopefully that's not going to take us more than 10 minutes. Now, let's just skip opening account now. I'm going to explain how to open an account in a minute. I would like to take you through JOVE Core. Then we are going to do how to open an account, and we're going to show you some practice. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that JOVE has 4 different umbrella. I said the JOVE Journal, which is actually designed for PhD students and researchers. It's a scientifically reviewed papers. And the science education, this is for teaching and learning purposes, is mostly subscribed by master and undergraduate students. And now we have the JOVE Core, which is most suitable for those students who just started university in their first year of undergraduate, either foundation for year 1 or year 2. And what it does, it explains the fundamental of biology and chemistry in very concise video. The length of the videos in JOVE Core is approximately 2 minutes. And it's kind of wrapped around textbook. Now, we all understand that students is not that wealthy, and sometimes textbook could be very expensive to them to buy. So JOVE Core could eliminate that problem for students, because this study by the University of Essex says that almost every student spends £630 per year per textbook. Now, if you convert that into Saudi Riyal, that's approximately 3,000 Riyal. Now, I understand there's a difference in the teaching and living standards. However, the costs remain high. And also, majority of the time, those books are written in an English language, which sometimes could be a barrier for some students. And some of these books are intentionally written in unclear statement, so people are not able to understand it. And there has been studies that explaining that using JOVE Core is much better or much preferred by a student than using the traditional textbook. And lastly, and all of you who's been gone through teaching training, you would hear or you would know about dual coding, which means if a person uses 2 sensories to register information, they are more likely to understand those information much quicker, and also they are more likely to retain and keep those information for much longer time. So for example, if I'm reading a book, I'm only using my eyes to read that book. But if I'm watching a video, I'm using my eyes and I'm also using my ears to hear what the video is saying. So because I'm using 2 sensory to register those information, it is more likely to be easily understandable, and it is more likely for me to hold them for much longer time. And this is how JOVE Core look like. We have 33 different chapters. And those chapters range, majority of them in the biology chapter, and we have 2 chapters in chemistry. Now, they are wrapped around these books. So for example, if any of you teach those books, Campbell Biology or OpenStack Biology, it is exactly the same, but in a video format. Now, this is, for example, chapter 4, how it looks like. So we explain the structure of the cell and its function, and the students are able to view those videos. They are very short, 2 minutes long or 1.5 minutes long, and they're able to understand the point that teachers would like to explain to them. They're all animation. They don't have any kind of, and like the science education, they don't have anything that involve in human that actually do an experiment in front of them, and they are easy to understand. This is the chemistry chapter. So you can see it's very fundamental and it's very basic. You would see the periodic table, how atomics look like, the different bond, ionic, covalent, isotope, etc., etc. And it's really good kind of even recap or revision for 2nd year and 3rd year students to ensure that the knowledge is solid when it comes to each topic that they're studying. And this is lastly the biochemistry chapter, where students are able to actually see about protein, etc., etc. Now, this is JOVE Core, and it's used by a lot of universities around the world. In fact, it's used by a lot of Ivy League and a lot of Russell Group here in the UK. And it's teachers and professors love it and like it because it will make students on their A game. It will enable the students to understand what the teacher talking about because they know all these fundamentals all the time. And it's not going to take a lot of time for students to watch 2-minute video before the lesson start or after the lesson. So that ensures that all of your students must of your classes passes with a very great result. Now, I would like to now to actually start the practicing session, because it's been a 38 minutes that talking to you, and I would like to give you the chance to actually open an account and do some kind of exercise by yourself, and I'll be able to answer your question accordingly. Now, in order for you to open an account with us, all you need to do is to go into your internet browser. You need to type in www.jove or jove.com. Once you have done that, this will take you to this page. Now, you will click on the green button on your top right-hand side where it says login. When you click on that, you're going to choose the second option where it says sign up. That will take you to this page where you need to fill those information. So you need to fill the first name, the last name, your email and institution. Your email and institution, it is at ksu.edu.sa. Because if you haven't used your email and institution, the system will not recognize you, hence you wouldn't have an access to those videos. You create a password for yourself. You write the name of your institution. In your case, is King Saud University. You write your country. In your case, is Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Your role within your faculty. Are you a teacher? Are you a professor? Are you a physician? Are you a librarian? And lastly, the field of your expertise. So for example, you can pick biology or biochemistry. Now, the most important of which, before clicking on create an account, you need to fill this gray text. So the system recognizes that you're not a robot, and you fill those gray text with those letters exactly the way they are. When you have done that, you click on create an account, then you will receive an email asking you to verify your email address. When you have done that, your email is ready. Now, I'm going to demonstrate that one in front of you so you are able to see it. Now, you go into www.jove.com. And this is how the page is going to look like. After that, you click on login. When you click on login, you're going to choose the second option where it says sign up. When you click on sign up, that will take you to this page. You need to scroll down a little bit, and you need to fill those information, your first name, your last name, your email, and you create a password for yourself, and your institution, your country, your role, and lastly, you need to fill this gray text exactly the way it is, in a capital letter if they were capital letter, in a numbers if they were numbers, and lastly, you need to click create an account, and after that, you will receive an email verification, and your account will be ready to view. Now, I would like to give you 2 minutes to try that. If you have any question, you can write it on the chat area. You can write it in both language, English or Arabic, and I'll be able to answer that very quickly. I'm going to demonstrate that one more time. So you go to your browser, you type www.jove.com, and this will take you to the opening page or the most important page. Then you will click on the top right-hand side on the green button here where it says login. You click on the second option where it says sign up, and you scroll down a little bit, and you will fill those information, including the gray text, and you click on create an account. Okay, let's just say 3 minutes for everyone, and any question, please write it into the chat area. Okay. I'm assuming everybody's going smoothly because none have asked any question. So that's good. another minute and a half. Let's just see that everybody. Okay, another minute. Yes, you can embed test into Blackboard, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. And however, let's just now get everybody together, and I'm going to demonstrate how to embed video on Blackboard and how to use the test functionality. Now, I hope all of you are able to open an account. Now, let's just go with the how to embed videos onto Blackboard. Now, I'm just going to go back to the original page, which is jove.com. I will hope that, and can everybody see the page? Can all of you are able to see the page? And is it clear at your end? Please indicate if you're able to see my page or the sharing has stopped. Can everybody see the page of JOVE? Yes, thank you. Okay, so here how to use those video into your lessons. Now, this is the thing that I talked about, which is JOVE Journal. This is the peer-reviewed area. Now, here's the science education that you can use it into your lesson for your students for teaching and learning purposes. Now, you have the basic biology where you can find the laboratory skills that everybody needs to master, or the general laboratory technique. And also down here you can find the lab safety, where every students need to know about to keep themselves safe. Now you have the engineering collection, where you have the bioengineering or the biomedical science engineering. So you have the biomedical engineering, where you have all those radiology or radiography and video where your students are able to actually use. And for those who are radiotherapists, or for those of you who are physiotherapists, you need to go into clinical skills. And within clinical skills, for example, body examination, you can click, for example, on physical examination 3, and you are able to see how to do neck exam, shoulder exams, knee exam, elbow exam, lower back exam, etc., etc. Now, let's just very quickly show you how to embed those video onto Blackboard. So for example, let's pick a CT scan video. Now, so this video is about how to combine SPECT with the CT imaging visualizer for the cardiac functionality. So you, first of all, you need to click on the video to do anything that relating to that specific video. So when you click on the video will start running. And as I explained before, you have the CC or you have the, just give me a second. You have the CC button or the subtitle button, and as you can see, the Arabic language is one of them. So when you click on that, now the video will play with Arabic subtitle. You can enlarge the page if you wanted to, so the students are able to see the video during your lessons. And here on your right-hand side, you have the chapters. So for example, if someone would not wish to watch all 9 minutes, they can click on the result, and that will take them straight to the result, and will save them a lot of time. Now, underneath the video, we have the area or the university that has produced those video. Now, in this case, you have University of Brood in Indiana in the USA has actually, these authors has actually supervised these videos. Now, That means every single video that you find in JOVE website has been verified by other scientists. So in case you have a feedback or you do not agree with those methods, you can write to us, and I'm going to show you how to write to us in a minute, and we take those feedback seriously. So we are going to contact those people who actually produce those videos, and we tell them we would like your answers to those feedback, and you will receive your answer either by agreeing with you or explaining the other point of view of this specific scientist. Also, you can able to see the principle and the procedures this video has done in a written format. So for example, if the students would like to print those format or those information to use them as, for example, revision or put them into their folders, they also can do that. Now, how to make this video available for your students? Now, underneath every video, you have this button where it says embed this video. So you need to click on that button. And when you click on that button, it will take you to another page. Now, this page includes this code here. You either can highlight the whole code or click where it says embed or copy the embed code. So when you click on that, it will highlight itself for you. And then you will go into your Blackboard page. You're going to click on the course, or, and for example, if you have year 2, let's say imaging, or year 2 radiography, you click on that course because you would like to make that video available on that course. And you are going to click this third option where it says content. Now, when you click on content, it will take you to this page. And you're going to choose this where it says build content. Some of you will have it in only built content, so you don't have all this and content, etc. You will have it viewed just built content. Then you will click on item. When you click on item, first of all, what you need to do is to give a title to your video. So you're going to write CT scan, for example. And this is the video that is going to appear into your page, and this is the title that your students are going to see. Now, in order to continue, we need to click on these 2 arrows that are facing down. So when you click on these 2 arrows that are facing down, these options will expand for you. Now you have more options. Now you're going to choose this one that before the last option where it says HTML. When you click on that, this window will open. Now, all you need to do is to copy the embedded code that you have taken from JOVE website here, either by right click and click on paste or using Control V. Once you have copied the code, all you need to say update and submit. Now, your video is ready on your page here, CT scan. Your students are able to view it. And for example, if the deadline or the course has changes, or you don't want to see this video again by your students, you can just say, make it unavailable to them. Now, I'm going to demonstrate that one more time. I'm just going to delete that. I'm going to demonstrate it one more time for you to see it. So you go to the course that you would like to make this video available. So first of all, you go back to the video, and what you need to click is on this icon where it says embed. So you must click on embed in order for you to have the code. Now you can highlight the code and copy, or you can simply click on copy embedded code, and that will highlight it for you. You go into Blackboard, you click on the course that you would like to make this video available. You are going to the third option here where it says content. That will take you to this page. You click on build content, item, then you click on the name, so you say CT scan. Sometimes this option is not going to be expanded like this, it's going to be like this, so you need to click on these 2 arrows that are facing down. Then you are going to choose the option just before last, where it says HTML. Now, you are just going to copy the embedded code by right-clicking on your mouse and paste, update, and submit. Now, this is how to embed a single video onto your Blackboard. Now, what I can do for you is, if you know what kind of collection that you would like to receive, I am able to send you the full collection as a zip file. For example, if you have introductory class to lab procedures and you would like them to know about all those different equipment and how to use them in a lab, or maybe how to stay in the lab safely. For example, how to use Bunsen burner, how to use micropipette, how to use centrifuge, etc., etc. And you would like all those videos to be available to your students. Rather than click on each one of them, I am able to send you the whole collection as a zip file, and you are able to embed it into Blackboard. And I'm going to demonstrate that one time. And at the end of this presentation, I'm going to send you a form. So if you like to receive such a thing, can you mention that in the comment area? So I send it to you after that. Now, in order for you to do that, again, you need to click on the course that you would like to make this video available, or those collection available. Now, this time, you will go to just the option before last, where it says package and utilities. And when you click on that, you also go to the option before last, where it says import package view logs. Now, because I have sent you the zip file, you have saved it somewhere in your computer or somewhere in your laptop. So you are going to say import package, and you are going to browse your computer to find where you have saved that file. So for example, I have a couple. So let's have a look, for example, at, I'm just going to look at something that relevant to your courses. So let's just say for those students who are doing biochemistry, or also those students who are first year who would like to know about protein, etc., we are going just to embed this collection. Now you have embedded this collection. Now all you need to do then is select all, submit. Now, because it's a large file, it will take a couple of times. You will receive this message where it says the action has been actioned for queued. An email will be sent to you when it's completed. So normally it takes between 30 seconds to 1 minute to make sure that all those video has been embedded into your Blackboard. Now we're going to refresh the page to see if they have arrived. And as you can see, they are there, macromolecule. Now, when you click on it, you would see all the video that was in the macromolecule or chapter 3 in the core ready for you to make it available for your students. Now, some of you would say, well, I don't want all those video. I just want a couple of them, or I just want a 5 or 10. That's absolutely fine. You just need to click on this arrow and say, make this video unavailable to students, and the students will not view it. You is not going to be there. Now, if you in the future would like to make it available, you just click make it available. And when they click on the video, it will take him straight away to the page, and they don't have to log in. They click on the video and they're able to watch it from there. Also, they can use a CC subtitle, and they can see it in Arabic language without having the need to log in into JOVE website or remember their password or remember their email. It says one question, there's one question. Can we further customize video to meet the need of specific course? Of course you can. However, you cannot edit the video. You can get a group of video and you put them in a specific page of yours. That's the thing that you can do. So you can browse all these collection that I showed you, and you can choose different video to make it more specific for your course. Now, I'm here to help you to actually find the relevant video, because if you look at our website, the number of video articles that we have is 11,595 video articles. So that probably will take you forever to go through them all. Now, I've gone through most of them and I know where every video exists. So if you would like any help, reach out and I will definitely ensure that you are able to find your content. Now, I would like to give you the time, one more time, to try to embed those videos into Blackboard and see if you have a question. I give you 3 minutes or so. So you need to click on the video, then you need to click on embed, you go to Blackboard page, you build content item, and then you click it as HTML. So when you click on the video, you click on embed, that will take you to this page, and copy the embedded code. You go to your page, you click on the course that you wish those videos to make available, and you choose content, build content item, and all you need to do to give a name to your title and make sure this sometimes is expanded. So you click on HTML and you copy here and update, then submit. Just 2 or 3 minutes. You don't have to embed it. I just want to make sure that you are familiar with it so you are able to use it when you find your specific video. So if you are familiar with it and you are able to find it when you are able to use it when you find your specific video, that's the whole point of practicing. So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to practice, and if you have any question, please write it on the chat area. Okay, another minute or so. Okay, now, great. And I will send you the video package, but you would like to indicate that in the comment area of the form that I'm going to send you at the end of this presentation. Now, I want to do, and some of the video have a translation of the transcript, but not all of them. Obviously, every day we are producing a new video. So just to give you a sense of how many video that we produce, every 2 weeks we produce 50 new video. That means in a month we produce 100. So every single month you will see this number increase by 100. So next month, which is the January the 3rd, you will see this 12,500 video. So sorry, 11,600 video. It's not 1,000, it's 100 video per month. It's not 1,000 video per month. So next month you would see as 11,600 or 700 video approximately. So, and that includes both video journal and science education. So we produce video journal where the science would like to produce a study. So we go to their lab and we do the experiment, and also we produce some new collection of the science education. So as you can see here, the code I just explained is quite new. So it has not been more than 6 months now. The lab manual is even newer, it's only 3 or 4 months. So we producing a new collection every other month. So if there is something that you would like to know about, please make sure that you tick on where it says if you would like to receive more information from us, so we will get in contact and let you know about the new things that are available for you. Now, lastly, I would like to go through the JOVE test and show you how can you use it in your classroom. Now, again, in order for you to do any test or any embedding, you must click on the video. So you need to choose the video that you would like your students to answer some question about. Now, on the top here, So for example, someone asking me about the translation of the script. Now, in this video, Arabic language is not available because it's quite old. So I'm sure there are other videos there where Arabic language is available. But however, you have the subtitle in Arabic, but the transcript sometimes is not available in Arabic. Now, for the JOVE test, you need to click on Create JOVE Test. Then, and this is where it gets tricky. Now, if you don't have an account, you will not be able to do the test. And also, if your account are not recognized as a professor, you're also not able to do the test. So if you have an account with us and you were able to open an account, make sure that you indicate that in the form so I can give you professor access to use those tests. So you log in as a professor, then you, as I mentioned, the subject of study and the subject will be chosen for you because you have actually clicked on the video, and that video says an introduction to the centrifuge. Now you give a title for your test. You might say test number 2 or test number 1, and those is the question that's already available. Now, if you would like to add more question, you can click on add question, and you need to write your own question and multiple choice answers. If you do not like some of those questions, you just click on the word don't use, and the question will not appear at your students page. If you are happy with the question and you just would like to view or review how the test is going to look like, you click on this button here, and that will take you to the page on how the test will go to look like at your students page. So this is how the students going to view the test. Now, if you're happy with that, you can click save and approve. Now, what you can do, and of course, if you have an Arabic keyboard, it will support an Arabic test, absolutely. And in that case, you need to write your own questions. Of course it would. But the whole point of it is to ensure that you're not spending a lot of time in lesson planning and doing exams tests. The whole point of it is making the system design the question and do the marking for you. Now, here where you can put or copy and all the list from the classes that you would like to answer those questions, you can write the message here to your students. You can say, make sure that you work hard or view the video before answering the question. And also you can set a deadline. So for example, you would say, okay, I need it in a week time. That means the 10th of December. So by the 10th of December, every single student must have completed the question. And you just now say, send the test. Once you click on that, every single student you have added their email here, they will receive a notification saying, your teacher would like you to answer those questions by this deadline. Now, someone asked about the availability of those tests on Blackboard. That's a really good question. And what I can do for you also, we have those tests in a zip file again, and you can have them there and choose the video or choose the question that you would like to add and do them individual. Now, the way to do that again is by clicking on the course that you would like those questions to view. Now, let's just open this. This time, you are going to choose this where it says course tool. And you are going to the last option where it says test, survey, and polls. You click on them, you click on test, you click build a test, you give a name, let's say test 1 or test 2. Then you are going to, sorry, I should have imported it, sorry about that. Test again, import test, browse my computer, because you have them in your computer. For example, question about general chemistry, submit, and it says test import completed, okay. Now, what you need to do is build test, give a title, submit, reuse question, create set of question. And here is the general chemistry. And here is the questions that you are able to use. Now, you have 75 questions. You can click on all of them, and all of them will appear on your page. And you click on the one that you want. Now, you would know the general chemistry collection is within the chemistry collection. So, for example, it's in the science education, in the chemistry, in the general chemistry collection, which is this one here. Okay, so I can send you the question for each chapter as the video for each chapter. Now, let's choose maybe 5 or 6 questions. Okay, submit. So you need to indicate how many questions that you have uploaded. Submit. Okay. Okay. Something wrong with I'm afraid something wrong with my computer. It wouldn't show. But I will be able to do it for you. Something wrong with my Blackboard. It wouldn't click. But we are able to actually send you those also zip file as question to be embedded into your Blackboard too. Now, and what I would like you to do now is to actually have a go and try to browse some questions, try to make a test and see if that works for you. Meanwhile, I will send you this form to fill. So all I want from you is a feedback for what you've been listening to all the morning. If you find it relevant, if not, sorry, it's not this one. One second. Is this one? Yes, is this one. So, and I want you to, if you wish, to explain, to give me a feedback about what you've seen, and by putting your name, your email, your contact detail. Now, if you put your contact detail and you click that you would like to hear from us, and we're definitely not going to contact you, we're going to respect your wishes. But if you would like to hear from us and receive those information, just click on yes here, because if you clicked on no, I don't like to hear from you, or don't like to be contacted, we will not be able to contact you because you have chosen not to be contacted. Now, if you wish to receive the full collection, on the comment area here, after you added any other comment that you had, just say, I would like to receive the full collection of this topic, or maybe biomedical engineering and physical examination and introduction to lab safety and lab techniques, etc., etc. The steps you just did add to that kind of question on elements. You have to create the test in the file and to pull it. But you did it clear. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for that. And I agree with you. I made that mistake. Thank you and for that. And however, and I definitely be able to, if you wish so, to send you any of the question or any of those collections. So let's just very quickly run through those collections. So as I mentioned, we have those different collections. So for example, if we click on the basic biology, where I have indicated there are 2 suitable questions for you, for example, the lab safety, if you would like to receive the full collection of this, I'll be able to send you the full collection as a video. And after that, I send you a zip file with those questions to be both of them embedded into Blackboard. Now, you are able then to ask your students to access those questions whenever it suits you, whenever you think is a good time for them to answer those questions. And also, you can make any video that you would like available and the video that you wouldn't like unavailable. So I hope that clarifies your question. Now, just very quickly to take you to core and show you how concise it is and how is it and very useful for majority of your students. And can you please fill your confirmation or your email address in the form and not on the chat area? So this is the form one more time. Please can everybody, if you and will, and fill the form with how do you find the session? Do you think was it useful? Does it meet your expectation? Do you think it's relevant for you? Is there any additional comment that you would like to know? Were you able to open an account with us? And were you able to embed a video into Blackboard, etc., etc.? Here is the form one more time. So the only way to embed a collection into Blackboard by collecting from you is in the way to through a website like that. No, this is a really good question. Someone asked about the only way to embed a collection into Blackboard is by contacting me. Now, because you're university-based subscription, if there is a way that you actually can find all these collection, it is not because it's going to be used by other university. The way that you need to contact me is because this collection is specifically designed for King Saud University. So if someone else, for example, God forbid, hacked into your email or into your file and they found those collection, they are not able to embed it into their Blackboard because it's specifically designed for your email domain. It's specifically designed for the Blackboard that used by King Saud University. And that's the only reason why you need to contact me. You don't have to contact me. You can send me a very quick email saying, I would like those collection. Can you send it to me via email? And all I'm going to do is send it to you via email. And also in the form, you don't have to click on, yes, I need to be contacted. You can say, no, I wish not to be contacted, and we completely respect that. We're not here to harass you. We're just here to help you. Okay, and very quickly, just to take you to the JOVE core. And so this is the collection that I explained about JOVE core. So we have all the way from fundamental cellular processes, genetic, human biology, ecology, and evolution. For example, let's just click on this one, chemistry of life. Now, this contains majority of the questions that, or majority of the video that demonstrate the fundamental of chemistry. So you have approximately 21 video about in this collection. So you have all the way from the bonding, the interaction of van der Waals, the pH, how the atoms look like, the electron behavior, to the periodic table. Now, let's just click very quickly on this one of the videos, and you would see that these videos are very, very short and very, very concise. They are less than 2 minutes long, most of them, and some of them are just only over a minute or 2 minutes long. So this one here, it's, I think, minute and a half. So as you can see, 1 minute, 23 seconds. Now, you still have the subtitle functionality. You still have the embed code here. You still have the transcript where the students are able to read extra information if they wish to. And furthermore, and for the whole chapter, we have something called science in action. So for example, if we have students who just started university, who are studying, for example, about electron, or maybe studying about bonding, and they are wondering, why am I studying about this? How am I going to use this ever in my life? Now, science in action section is actually showing them why this application is useful. And this video is from the journal side here, which is an actual study, and explains to them why studying about those fundamental is really important for their later career. So this is JOVE core that I showed you, and now I'm just going to put some contact information if you would like to get in touch, and about myself, email, telephone number, if you would like to receive any further information from me. So here's my email address, my telephone or desk number if you would like to get in touch. Okay, got to. Okay, let me just answer some of the question. I'm asking this question because I'm an introductional designer and I'm an assistant professor in introductional design department and not science professor, so I don't need this question. I don't know how to use it. You can. Yes, thank you. I got that. I'm interested in a physical examination. Do we have a video that's focusing on the examination of the pediatric population? Of course we do. Of course we do. We have a lot of physical examination video, and I showed you that in the clinical skills. So we have a 3 physical examination collection, actually. We have physical examination 1, physical examination 2, and physical examination 3. So let's just click on physical examination 1 and try to find the palpitation video. So you have all these physical examination. Now, pediatric, you said pediatric. Okay, probably pediatric is going to be tricky because you cannot actually film children in an experiment, and you cannot get ethical approval for that. However, we have volunteered, because every video showing you how to actually do it on a human subject. So I think you can show that to your students and just tell the difference between the size of an adult and size of children. So we have 3 different physical examinations. So you can browse those 3 different physical examination and see how or which video or which one of these you would like to receive. Also, we have the critical medicine and the emergency medicine. So how to, for example, basic life support, CPR, etc., and ensuring that person and airway is open, all these different things, how to kind of drain some sort of fluid from the lungs and ensure that person are not overpopulated. So all of these different things that are actually carried out by emergency medicine in the A&E, you can also find it in the critical medicine and critical care and emergency medicine. Does you have a collection in infectious diseases? Yes, we do have some collection in infectious diseases, and I'm going to take you to JOVE Core. Now in JOVE Core, because infectious diseases is caused by either viruses or bacteria, we have the biotechnology and the viruses chapter, and explains pretty much in kind of basic detail what students need to know about. So for example, what virus, what is the structure of virus, and phagocytosis, etc., etc. Now within the science in action, you can actually see influenza, some sort of culturing, and also in the advanced biology we have the macrobiology section. Now in the macrobiology section, it explains about how to actually tackle a macrobiology specimen. So for example, how to do the distillation and how to do the culturing, the 16S MRI sequencing, and antibiotic resistance stability test, and gram staining, etc., etc. So it's not infectious diseases per se. However, it is very suitable for anybody studying infectious diseases. Now, if your question was about epidemiology and public health and infectious diseases, you cannot find those video here. You need to go to the journal side, and here we have the immunology and infection section. Now, bear in mind, these are published studies. So probably you would need it to use it to students who are quite advanced into their topic. So maybe 3rd or 4th year students, because this is an actual study, and when people view it, they need to understand a lot of terminology to actually carry it out or be able to access those information. And take time, look at the website, see if there is any collection that suits you. And here's my contact detail if you would like to get in touch, and fill the form for me and give me your feedback, and if there's any extra thing that you would like to see in the future. If you do think there's things that we missed, things that you would like to receive from us, etc., etc., I will be more appreciated if you can do that for me, because it is the only way that we are able to actually better ourselves in the future. So I'm going to send you the link one more time. For those of you who have not filled it, I really, really recommend you to fill it, because, and don't worry about any other information or any other question that you don't understand. And majority of those questions are multiple choice questions. So it's just asking you to indicate your expertise, the area of your expertise, how many years that you teach. Have you ever heard about JOVE before? Were you able to open an account when I showed you how to open an account? Were you able to embed a video in Blackboard? How do you rate the overall of the training? And how satisfied were you? And how do you rate the quality? And if you would like to submit a request for a video, and can you please just write the collection name under the comment area where it says additional comments regarding the session and the overall agenda, and I will understand you would like that video or you would like that collection. Yes, absolutely, you can do that. And lastly, which is the most important question, would you like to be contacted? Make sure that if you say no, you're not gonna hear from us, and anything that you requested are not be delivered, because we will like to respect your request. And any other questions, I will be more than happy to answer for you. Now, I'm going to send you the, last time, I'm going to send you the form, and it's going to be the last time I send you for everybody to fill. And if you have any further question for me, please let me know, and I will be here for another 20 minutes or so, just to ensure that we are taking the time designed for this presentation. Once again, I would like to thank everyone who attended this morning or this afternoon at your times, and it's been a pleasure speaking to you. And I'm on the mission to actually make teachers' life much easier. I really passionate about that, and because I'm talking from personal experience, because I worked as a teacher for 2 years, and I go home at 5 o'clock in the evening and try to have a time with my family, with my young daughter, but there is no time because I need to prepare for tomorrow. Tomorrow I have 3 or 4 lectures, and other exams come in, and we have to set some assignment, etc., etc. And this is sometimes overwhelming. But if you are able to use those free resources, which, let's say if it's free only half an hour of your time every day. Now, if you added half an hour to 5 days a week, that's 2 hours and a half, which you can actually use that with your loved one. So please do not hesitate. If you have any question about how to use those videos, how to make them available, how to use the test functionality, how can you actually save more time for yourself and your family, please get in contact. Never ever hesitate. And once more, thanks very much for taking the time and attending this morning, and I wish you all the best. If you have any other question, I will remain here for extra 20 minutes or so to ensure that everybody's question has been answered. I'd save time more. Well, unfortunately, there's a question asking how to save time for yourself. And unfortunately, the reason why I left teaching is because I couldn't save time. I didn't know about JOVE at the time. I wasn't aware of it. But when I joined JOVE, I become aware of it, and therefore I'm trying to help others now. So this is why is it so important to actually take some time for yourself, because I know teaching is daunting career, is a career where you have to give it all yourself, and sometimes your children and your partners is going to be so jealous because you are spending more time in teaching than you're spending with them. So to avoid that and to ensure that your time is used much better in with the people who deserve it more, you can achieve that by using these resources which are free to you. So for example, if you have a lesson tomorrow on how to use microscope, and rather than creating PowerPoint presentation, putting a lot of pictures, trying to find a video, you can just send a link to your students and say, okay, here is the video. Here is the article below the video. Make sure that you watch the video. Make sure that you read those articles. And after that, I'm going to the lesson. I'm going to explain it one more time to you. And I'm going to ask you to do the test. So you save a lot of time in actually using these things, rather than sitting there all night on your computer or laptop trying to put together PowerPoint presentation, which at the end of the day is going to last for half an hour, while your lecture maybe is 2 hours or hour and a half. So yeah, I understand definitely where you're coming from. Okay, that's absolutely fine. I will send the recording to the Deanship of Skills and Development. So once the recording is finished, and you can view this one more time. And so that is going to be also ready for you. Thanks a lot. Thanks for all of you who have attended, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Hello, could you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, thank you very much about your presentation. It's good, it's very helpful for me.
Thank you. You are
And I
very
want to
welcome.
ask one question about the counseling education for patient. If we have simulation lab for student and we want to teach them how to counsel patients.
Okay, and so you are talking about mental health and how to ensure that the students are able to speak to patient in kind of dignitized
Yes,
way. Yes. Okay. And let me just very quickly look at the psychology collection.
thank you.
Now we have the psychology collection. This might not be kind of a lot relevant to you as a mental health person. However, there are some video about experimental psychology where patient are spoken to before the actual study is being done. And it depends on the kind of disease or the kind of mental health someone has. So for example, if someone suffering from schizophrenia, or someone suffering from bipolar, or someone suffering from depression, unfortunately we haven't got those video at the minute available. However, there will be a core psychology produced in February, so that in exactly 3 months time. And by that time, I will be ensuring that I send those new collection to you and to your colleagues. However, within the clinical skills as well, he explains how to actually speak with patient. I definitely understand that does not answer your question, because your question was about counseling, but is an option to explore. But I'm really sorry we haven't got that kind of collection within our disposal now, because it's a kind of very unique area, and it's a kind of new to the world to actually deal with mental health.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No problem at all. You are very welcome.
I'm thinking to do it with my student and postpone it to you.
Definitely, we
I
will
think
have the psychology collection in February. Definitely, is a
yeah,
core videos, so it's going to
will
be
be
very
helpful.
short videos, and we'll
Yes,
explain a
will.
lot of social psychology and how to deal with mental health. It definitely will include that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. I will definitely, and some of you asking about sending the videos or the recording. I will send the recording to a couple of people who requested it via email and to the deanship of the college. So definitely you will have access to it and somewhere. And so rest assured, and you will have the access. So don't worry about it at all. And if you wish to receive it straight away, and just drop me a quick email, or just because I would not be able to remember your username later, and probably I'll be able to remember your name, but I wouldn't know your email address to send that to you. So if you send me a quick email, I'll be able to drop it into your inbox. Here's my contact detail again, once more, if you wish to. And yeah.
Hello?
Yes, I can hear you.
Mr. Muhammad, thank you so much for your presentation. I have a question, please. From your experience with the other universities using JOVE in online courses, how successful were they in using JOVE for their online courses where they don't go to a lab or meet a professor?
Very successful. Yes, of course, I'll tell you very successful, and I'll tell you some numbers as well. And they were very successful. So there are some university where they run some kind of learning distance courses where students don't have to attend campus or don't have to attend university. They do all the learning online. Now, in the past, those online courses or those distant learn courses, they were kind of restricted into, and how can I put it, bachelor for art rather than bachelor for science. And by the availability of JOVE video articles and other different organization or other different platform, they are able now to design Bachelor for Science courses. So for example, if you have undergraduate, let's say, biomedical course, where students need to know about how to work in a lab, and they are able to see those video into their houses, and they come to the lab one day across all the year just to do the examination. That has been done by different universities here in the UK, for example, Leeds University, which is one of the Russell's group, and also Edinburgh University, which is also one of the Russell's group. And as far as the US goes, I don't know the exact university. However, I am sure those articles has been used by different universities. And if you would like to see our associate or the university that actually subscribe to our platform, you can go at the end of the page and you can go to see the different university that actually subscribe to. So let's just go for librarian. So this is the university that actually subscribe to us. So as you can see, Cambridge University in the UK, and Harvard University, Massachusetts Institute for Technology. So all these universities use those video to design their learning distance or online courses. Does that answer your question?
Is it like full online courses, pure online courses?
No, not necessarily. But for example, let's give you an example. And let's say X university have two courses. One is purely online, where students don't have to attend campus. And some professors who teach the online course also have some on-campus courses. So this professor would like to use those video into in both groups. So they can send it to the students who are not attending campus, and they can view it to those students who are attending campus. So the benefit is the same. And I mentioned the independent study that has been done by the University of DeSalle and the University of Gold, which provided this result. So this is the study. You can view it online if you wanted to. It's in the Journal of Chemical Education. This is the DI number. So 10/10/21/ACD Journal of Chemical Education. And this is the number you can take a screenshot if you wanted to, and you can look it up. And explains the result of using JOVE. And this is the area that is most important, which is the assessment result of the students after they have viewed those videos. So it does definitely help big time.
Great, thank you. Well, I'm sorry for too many questions, but I have
That's
one last
absolutely
question.
fine. Absolutely fine. Don't worry about
So
it.
I'm not specialized in science. I'm not sure about the nature of the subjects. So I want to ask you, to what extent can those videos replace the lab experience? Like, is there specific topics that can be delivered online, fully online, without the students going to the lab? And then there are some kind of subjects that it's not, you know, it's not preferred to be delivered online.
Okay, and let's just agree on one thing. Let's just agree that lab is not going to be substituted forever, because if you were to do a real study, if you were to do, for example, a cell culturing on a specific cancer cell, you have to do that in a lab. It cannot be substituted by video, because you need to produce, or you need to maybe test a new drug. So you need to do in a lab in order for you to get empirical data that can either prove or disapprove your hypothesis. So let's put that aside. Let's just talk about students now. And let's see how could that help students and help educators. Of course, you can ask your students just to view those labs or just to view those video and study about those experiments without going into the lab. That's absolutely your right if you are designing that course for them. If you think they will benefit more by just viewing the video and not going into the lab, this is your own discretion. It is your own right to do so. However, what you can also do is, for example, you have those students in this semester, they don't have any lab experience or lab courses. You can ask them to just watch the video, and next semester or maybe next year, they are already ready to do that. Furthermore, you can say, okay, I'm going to design a brand new course where the students don't have to go to lab at all. And instead, I'm going to show them the video, and I'm going to design my last or end of year exams according to those labs they have watched. So you can do it in a variety of ways. But again, if you would like those students to progress into real scientists or into real lab workers, they have to do the actual work in a lab. But this is a kind of extra tool they can use to aid their understanding, to reinforce their understanding of the topic they are working on. I hope that answered the question.
Thank you so much. Yes.
No problem at all. Thank you. Okay, I will stop the recording, and